Saturday night. Oh, okay, so I am taking part in a photo prompt challenge on Instagram, which I want to say it's called the Bookish Dreamers, but I will link it below. I really like this challenge because there are dates, but you don't have to follow them, and you can just post whatever you want when you want. But the next prompt is a basic trope that you love, or basic tropes that you love. And so I did manage to get a stack this time because almost all of my favorites have these tropes. And these are my top 5 for my favorite tropes out of books that I own / Crooked Kingdom, which I don't own, although Crooked Kingdom was 5 stars and I would definitely like to read it again in the future, so I probably will purchase it when I find my favorite edition. So the tropes that I love the most, I have a top 3. The first one is slow burn romance in general. I generally will not like a book if it is, I want to say like Harper and Wren because I'm just salty about that, but I know that's not entirely like an insta romance. But if the characters, if I can tell like page 1, these characters are going to get together and they're going to be together within like the next few chapters or something like that, and there's no conflict or like actual friendship being built first, or I won't like it. I won't enjoy the story. Second, enemies to lovers. So that's kind of a further, more drastic version of slow burn. Specifically, enemies to friends to lovers is a huge thing for me. Like, show me that they have opposing sides, very much like mutant wise, like, you know, you have someone in the Brotherhood versus someone with the X-Men. Like, they have opposing viewpoints, and it's not just like, oh, we could fall in love, but you like my brother, or the, you know, it's not. You have to overcome so much more, and there's so much like more tense scenes, like arranged marriage in like historical plots, or yeah, things like that. Really, just like opposing sides of war in fiction. I love that, and it's always drawn out too. So I really, really enjoy that. And then the third one is, I said slow burn, enemies to lovers. Oh, found family. When you bring a bunch of misfits together and they all come from like completely different backgrounds, but they end up just being each other's family, and it does, like, it's usually not even romantic at all, maybe like a couple of them. That really gets me. Like when you just have friendships like that form so hard that it's stronger than DNA, like that really hits home for me, and I love that so much. So these are the 5 books that I own that I feel really embody those tropes and that I really will read again because I've enjoyed them. So the first one is Bring Me Their Hearts by Sarah Wolf, and the third and final book of this trilogy is actually coming out next month. I did touch on that a little bit in my last video if I didn't cut it out. I did rant a little bit and I didn't mean to. But I got this book from my best friend Jamie because she said that I look like the girl on the cover, and I was laughing because I told her if I was ever a Disney princess that I would wear red. It would be my signature color. So I love this. But I was really disappointed because the third book will have a completely different cover, which I understand it had to do with pandemic reasons. They couldn't get in touch with the cover artist for this one, but I really don't like the new cover. It looks very poorly done in-house instead of this cover, and there also has been almost no promotion for the third book, so to speak. Wait, is that... Okay, I definitely saw something black scary. Oh my god. Okay, so that was definitely a spider. We're gonna pretend that didn't just happen. Bring Me Their Hearts. Yeah, it seems like the release is really just getting swept under the rug. I don't know if it's because of the new cover art. I'm trying to get an arc from NetGalley right now. So, but otherwise, I will probably purchase it in December. Yes, because I already have another book planned for November. But I really enjoy that book because it follows Sara, and she is a heartless, which means that a witch has her heart and can control her. It's almost werewolf-ish because she has to eat is it human hearts or hearts in general? She has to eat like raw meat every so often, and she can turn into this like monstrous creature. I can't remember whether she can turn into like different monstrous creatures depending on the circumstance or maybe like what someone's fear is, but it's definitely gives me kind of werewolf vibes, like lycanthropy or whatever. And it follows Sara as she is forced to go to this kingdom for and be a spring bride, which means it's almost like an arranged marriage or like a medieval The Bachelorette, where the prince gets to pick one of the spring brides to marry and be his queen, which is all well and good for everyone else who's really excited at the opportunity to be a queen, but Sara doesn't care about that. She is being forced to go. Well, she is given the opportunity to go because if she succeeds in becoming the new queen or getting the prince alone to steal his heart, then the witch will be able to essentially rule the kingdom, and she'll give Sara her heart back because she'll have other things to deal with when she controls the prince. So Sara doesn't want to figuratively win the prince's heart. I want to say his name is Lucian. Is it Lucian? Yeah, Prince Lucian. She wants to win his heart literally. So she wants to get his guard down, get him alone. So he's thinking like, oh, maybe I can kiss her. And she wants to murder him, basically. Because I think the Heartless are essentially dead almost, in a way of speaking. So I really liked this. It was a very fun and quick read. I got through it very quickly because I didn't want to put it down. I liked the second book a lot, but I felt like the first one definitely had more going for it. Although there was more of a secondary character. I want to say Malachi. It's been a minute, but it's Prince Lucian's best friend and his bodyguard. And there was more of him in the second book. So I did enjoy that because I really liked him as a character. But, yes, the next one is A Court of Mist and Fury. This one also has enemies to lovers. This is the sequel to A Court of Thorns and Roses. I feel like most of BookTube already knows about this. But this follows Feyre after she has made a deal with it follows Feyre after she has made a deal with Rhys to go back to his kingdom for a specific amount of time. Am I saying the right story? Yeah. Yes. She forgot. Yeah, so this follows where Feyre is supposed to be marrying Tamlin, and she's going to be Lady of the Spring Court, High Lady of the Spring Court, and she's just being bossed around and put into frilly dresses and just preparing to live this sheltered, proper life, which she would hate and is almost literally breaking her apart. And she ends up having to spend a portion of each month with Rhysand, which I didn't realize when I first read this, but Jamie told me, it helped me realize that is, the first book was a Beauty and the Beast storytelling, or the first romance, and then the second book, or the second romance, is based off of Hades and Persephone. He's retelling. So I found that very interesting because I love mythology, and that did not click for me because I was enjoying the book too much. But they really are essentially enemies because Rhys and Tamlin are like immortal enemies, and they really just want to see the other one die. And obviously, you'd be loyal to your future husband slash the lord of your court, and so on. And so I definitely got like the enemies to lovers vibes from this, as well as a slow burn romance. Like, you have to go, each page is just, oh, you know something's gonna happen, but you really have to work for it to get towards the actual romance part of this. And I loved it. I love how they really did form a friendship first, and you can see like the bonds that are formed that are different than how it was with Tamlin, who really just wanted to like shove her away in a closet and deal with the kingdom, and not her, or really get to know her at all, other than like her being the one who helped him. And so I thought that was really interesting, and I loved that. This is one of my all-time favorite series. Also, found family with the whole inner circle and the night court. I loved that as well. I'm very excited. Apparently, the fourth book is coming out next. Is it March? It's soon, so I need to finish rereading the series. I'm planning to read A Court of Wings and Ruin soon. This next one is a placeholder for Serpent and Dove, because I have read Serpent and Dove and I loved it, but I don't own it. And I haven't read Blood and Honey yet, though I'm planning to read it this month, ideally. So, this one follows, I never remember anyone's name, I have to think about it, Lou and Reed, who are thrown into an arranged marriage. She is a witch, and he is a something that is like religious, and he is some kind of like religious soldier who hunts witches. He's basically a witch hunter, although I can't think of what the official name for it was in the book. And she sort of like accidentally, she's sort of found in this like compromising position where it seems like he was having some sort of a very romantic encounter with her. And so to save his reputation, they had her be married to him so that he could continue being a witch hunter. And I believe they did not know that she is a witch when they do this. They just think that she is some kind of like loose and scandalous woman that they're saving as a happenstance, that they are saving as a happy accident while they save Reed. This is definitely enemies to lovers. It is definitely a good slow burn book, and found family a little bit. There's not like the squad vibes per se that I loved, but it was still a great read, and I'm really excited to read this one, especially after the plot twist involving Reed at the end of the last book. I really wasn't expecting that, so I'm curious to see what they will do with that. The third one is a sequel. I have the first one as well, but this one's just prettier and it's hardcover. Return to the Isle of the Lost, which is the Descendants series by Melissa de la Cruz. I found this after watching all of the Descendants movies, which definitely seem younger audience based, but I did personally really enjoy it, and I watched it with my brother, who also really enjoyed it. I love Evie so much. Evie Grimhild is everything, and so is Sophia Carson. I have this Funko Pop of her, and that's just another film or fandom where I like the wrong people. I personally love Evie and Ben. I feel like they are so much better together. I've read some really good fan fiction for Evie and Ben, and like in the books, in the second movie, it really seemed like Ben and Evie were gonna get together, but I guess it was just chemistry on set. Since the actress who plays Mal was dating the actor who played Harry Hook, and they had a lot more chemistry going on than Mal and Ben did, in my opinion. And also in the books, Evie is actually in canon Ben's royal counselor, and so that gives them more of like an intimate relationship than they have in the Descendants movies. And even like in 3, where she barely talked to him the entire movie, But we're just pretending that that didn't happen. Anyway, I love this series. It has the found family trope 100% because you have the rotten core four with Jay and Carlos and Mal and Evie, and then to an extent, like their friends and romantic interest as well. It is not a slow burn romance. Mal and Ben seem to be together like basically page one in their dreams, and I guess that's like how Disney is usually with like classic Disney fairy tales. You know, like this is the prince, this is the princess, they're gonna end up together. So I understand it, but at least in fan fiction, Ben and Evie are super slow burn, and I love that. I guess technically this is also enemies to lovers because Ben is the lawful good prince of the Beauty and the Beast, and Mal is the daughter of Maleficent. So she's stuck on the Isle her whole life, and they decide to give her a second chance along with her three friends. So you have Evie, who is the daughter of the evil queen from Snow White, Carlos, who's the son of Cruella de Vil, and Jay, who is the son of Jafar from Aladdin. And what that is the movie plot. This is based before the movie, so this is before they go to Aradon, I believe. The first one is, and then this one is after the first movie, after they've gone to Aradon, or Aradon. They return to the Isle of the Lost, I believe, in between the first movie and the second movie. So this was a lot of filler. It really felt like I was just watching a short story. I was just reading like a short story in between the books. But I do love the characters so much, and I love Evie so much, so I'm counting this one as well, and I'm hoping to get the third one sometime over Christmas. The next one, the final one, Crooked Kingdom, which I've already talked about. We follow 6 different, so to speak, misfits for all of them. They all come from completely different walks of life, and they are picked up in an Ocean's 11 kind of vibe. I'm telling you the plot for Six of Crows, I'm sorry. But they all get together in this sort of Ocean's 11 vibes recruiting so that they can all work for Kaz Brecker, who